Right now, I feel like I'm standing in the middle of a storm. Everything around me feels shaky. Everything I thought was solid, it's shifting. I don't know what to trust anymore. I don't know where to put my weight without feeling like it might collapse under me. People say just trust God, but they don't see what I'm carrying. They don't feel the pressure I wake up with every day. They don't hear the anxious thoughts that spin through my mind before I even get out of bed. I want to trust you. I want to believe that what you say still matters when life is hard. But right now I feel overwhelmed, not by one huge thing, but by all the small things piling up. And when I open my Bible, sometimes I don't feel anything. The words blur. The weight of the day pushes louder. And I think, God, are you even in this page? Or am I just doing this because I'm supposed to? I don't want to survive my faith. I want to live it. But I need help. Because the truth is, I've been trying to stand on my own strength again, and it's not working. I'm tired of pretending I've got it together. Tired of quoting promises I don't feel deep down. Tired of acting like my faith is fine when inside I'm barely holding on. So I'm here, not polished, not perfect, but present, and I'm asking you to show me. How do I really stand firm on your word when everything in life feels like it's pulling me away? Because I don't want to live a life built on emotion. Emotions change. They rise and fall. They're real, but they're not always true. I need something deep, something more stable, something that can hold me when nothing else does. And I've heard your word is that anchor, that it's more than encouragement. It's a foundation, a weapon, a mirror, a lifeline. But I don't want to just know that intellectually. I want to experience it for real. So teach me how. Show me how to stand firm when the bills pile up, when the people I trusted walk away, when sickness stays, when the job falls through, when prayers seem unanswered, when I feel forgotten. Because this is where it counts. This is where I find out what's real. And I want what's real, God. Not what sounds good, not what looks holy, but what actually holds when the storm hits. If your word is alive, let it breathe in me. If your word is strong, let it support me. If your word is truth, let it rewrite the lies I've been believing. Not just for Sunday, not just for quiet time, but for this moment, the one I'm in right now, the one I'm not sure I'll make it through if you don't step in. So I bring you this, my confusion, my questions, my exhaustion, my fears, my desperation, and I say, help me learn to stand. I need your word to be more than memory verses. Today, I need it to speak like oxygen to a drowning soul. I need it to reach into places where I've been too numb to feel. Because the truth is, I know some of what you've said, but I've stopped expecting it to apply to me. I've read the promises, I've heard the sermons, but somewhere along the way, I started to believe there were for people with stronger faith, cleaner hearts, or fewer struggles. But I see now how easily I've filtered truth through my pain instead of letting truth heal it. I've let circumstances define what's possible. I've let fear decide what I think you'll do. And I've let silence make me think you're not speaking. But maybe you haven't been silent. Maybe I've just stopped sitting still long enough to hear you. So I want to come back to the center, back to the only thing that doesn't change, back to the words you've already spoken that don't bend to my moods or fears, because the world is loud, the storm is loud, but your voice is steady. If I'm willing to listen, and so I ask you now, not for more noise, but for clarity, show me how to tune out everything that's drowning you out, not by escaping life, but by grounding it in what's real. I don't need more information. I need revelation. I need your word to not just sit on a page, but to come alive in my soul, to speak back to the lies I've believed, to speak louder than the shame I've carried, to remind me of who you are and who I am when I'm with you. Let it cut through my overthinking. Let it silence the voices of fear, insecurity, and guilt. Let it light up the path when I can't see more than one step ahead. Because right now, I don't need surface strength. I need something that can't be stolen by a bad day or shaken by a hard week. And I believe that comes from knowing, not just hearing what you've said, So I'm asking you, God, show me how to return to your word, not as a duty, but as a refuge, a shelter, a fire, a foundation, something I can stand on when everything else breaks down. And when I feel nothing, remind me that truth doesn't stop being true just because I'm struggling to feel it. Help me to trust it anyway, to cling to it anyway, to declare it over my life, even when I don't see the outcome yet. Because faith isn't just about seeing, it's about holding on to the words you've already spoken and believing they still hold power. Even in the middle of a storm, I'm starting to realize that standing firm on your word isn't always about feeling strong. Sometimes it means staying rooted, even when I feel nothing. Sometimes it means repeating truth in the middle of doubt, choosing it again and again when my emotions are pushing in the opposite direction. Sometimes it looks like showing up anyway, to pray, to trust, to obey, even when there's no immediate reward, even when my heart is still asking, why is this so hard? I used to think faith meant confidence and boldness all the time. But now I see that sometimes faith is just quiet endurance. It's deciding to stay when everything in me wants to run. It's choosing to stand when all I want is to collapse. It's refusing to let go of what you said, even when life keeps testing if I really believe it. And honestly, that kind of faith costs something. It costs comfort. It costs pride. It costs the illusion of control. But it also builds something I can't get any other way: depth, resilience, unshakable trust. I'm not asking you to take away every storm. I'm asking you to train me in it, to teach me how to lean harder into you instead of retreating into fear, to teach me how to walk with truth under my feet, not feelings. Because if I let how I feel determine how I live, I'll never stand long. I'll move with every wave. I'll break under every pressure. But if I let truth hold me, if I root myself in what you said, then I can survive even the longest nights. So remind me, God, when I forget, when the pressure comes again, when discouragement sneaks in, when things don't happen the way I hoped. Remind me what I'm standing on. Remind me that I don't have to understand everything to trust you in everything. Remind me that obedience isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. That you see every time I choose to keep going, every time I resist the lie, every time I breathe out a whispered prayer instead of giving up. And remind me that this kind of faith, the staying kind, changes things. It changes me. It strengthens what's been weak. It clears out what's been cluttered. It deepens what's been shallow. So even if no one else sees it, even if it's quiet and slow and unseen, let this kind of faith grow strong in me, the kind that stands, the kind that won't back down, the kind that keeps believing, not because life is easy, but because you are worth it. I want to do more than read your word. I want to carry it inside me until it becomes part of how I think, how I speak, how I fight, how I breathe. I want it to be the first thing that rises up when pressure hits. Not panic, not negativity, not hopelessness, but truth, your truth, spoken not just from a place of knowledge, but from a place of deep lived experience. I want to be the kind of person who doesn't just quote verses, but who bleeds them when life cuts deep. Because if I'm going to stand firm, I need more than memory. I need understanding. I need revelation that roots itself so deep in me that even when I forget, it holds me. Even when I hesitate, it calls me back. Even when I break, it rebuilds me from the inside. So God, teach me how to hold on to your word like it's a sword, not just a scent, like it's a shield, not just a quote, like it's my weapon, my armor, my compass. Because the lies don't stop, the fear doesn't stop, the pressure doesn't stop. So I need something stronger than all of it. I need something eternal to fight what's temporary. And I'm done trying to battle with willpower alone. I'm done trying to stand in my own strength. I want to stand because truth is holding me up. Because you've spoken something stronger than what the world is shouting. Something deeper than what my fears are whispering. Something more lasting than what I feel right now. So help me speak it out loud. When doubt rises, let truth come out of my mouth. When shame creeps in, let grace rise in my spirit. When I'm tempted to shrink back, let boldness come through my voice. Not because I'm brave, but because I believe you. I don't want to just think your word is powerful. I want to treat it like it is. I want to stand on it like it won't crack under pressure. I want to walk in it like it's lighting my path. I want to speak it like it still changes the atmosphere. I want to live like it's real, because it is. And I know I'm going to forget again. I know I'll get tired. I know I'll be tempted to slide back into old thoughts, an empty routine. But every time I do, call me back, gently, clearly, loudly. If you have to, bring me back to what you've already said, to what hasn't changed, to what's more stable than my feelings, more secure than my fears, and more faithful than any storm that dares to shake me. I didn't think I'd make it through, but here I am, maybe still tired, maybe still waiting, but still standing. And I know it's not because I was the strongest. It's because your word held me when nothing else did. I've learned something in the fire. I've learned that faith isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just refusing to walk away. I've learned that your promises aren't decorations, they're anchors. I've learned that even in silence, you're still speaking. Even when I don't feel it, you're still faithful. Even when I don't understand it, you're still good. And now, something in me has changed. I don't panic like I used to. I don't spiral like I used to. I don't crumble the way I did before. Because there's something deeper now. Something tested, something weathered, something real. And I know it didn't come cheap. It came through waiting, through praying the same things over and over, through days when I felt numb, through moments when I had to speak your truth, through clenched teeth and shaky breath. But now it's mine, not just because I read it, not just because I heard it, but because I lived it. And now, I want to live from it. I don't want to keep surviving storms. I want to carry peace into them. I want to be someone others can lean on, not because I'm their savior, but because I've been held by mine. Let my life become a testimony, not of perfection, but of perseverance, that people see that it's possible to walk through fire and still have hope, that it's possible to lose things and still keep joy, that it's possible to feel fear and still move forward. I don't want to be known for being strong. I want to be known for standing, for staying, for holding, for not letting go of what you said when everything around me said it wasn't working. And if you ever want to use what I've walked through to help someone else, I say yes. Use my scars, use my story, use the ground I didn't think I'd stand on again. Let it remind someone that they can stand. Let it be proof that when your word says we can endure, it means it. That when you promise to be with us, you are. That when you say you'll finish what you started, you will. So I breathe in peace now, not because everything is fixed, but because I'm not afraid of falling anymore. I know what's under me, I know who's holding me, I know what's true, even when it's hard. And I choose to keep standing on your word, in your strength, with your presence, always.